Let's go to the pits now. Jackaroo.
Well, Bobby Rahal, this is twice now that you've gone out. Once you didn't make it off the tech area, and this time you took a couple of laps. Practice, practice, practice today.
Well, when we got out of line, you know, that shoots your chance at pole, which I didn't think we had much of a shot at anyway, frankly. So in that case, you might as well make sure it's right. And it felt good the first lap. It just started to start going away from me, and obviously the speed dropped. And, you know, now we can afford to go back out again and try it again.
It hasn't been a very good month for Bobby Rahal. Certainly not one of the better ones.
Well, we run pretty strong, I think, a lot of times. But, you know, we've been down on straight line speed, and I think that's hurt us a little bit. But, you know, this morning we ran 2:14s, 2:15s, so I was pretty happy.
The new engine combination, the Judd combination, you say that you think that will help you, though, in the 500-mile contest, that fuel consumption is much better with this engine than the Chevrolets or the Cosworth.
Well, I think on any race it's tough on fuel, and I guess there are really, in many respects, there are more road circuits where it's tougher than oval because of all the yellows. But so far, you know, it's already made a difference at Long Beach, and I don't see why it won't make a difference, you know, in a few other races this year.
Rahal's back at the end of the line one more time, Paul Page.
And out on the track, Danny Sullivan is flying. His first lap completed now at 217.3 miles an hour. That is good enough to move Danny Sullivan to the pole, if only he can keep it up.
And it's what we were talking about earlier, Paul. Penske chassis. Does Penske have better chassis this year? This would make you think that that's the way it is.
Is it possible we will see an all-Penske stable front row here at the Speedway? Because not only Danny Sullivan on the track now, but Rick Mears is yet to come up, and we already know he is very fast. The second lap, even faster than the first, 217.7 miles an hour. He is averaging above the one-lap record now at 217.7. Danny Sullivan has just set a new one-lap record at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The old record held by his teammate Rick Mears at 217.5. So Danny Sullivan into the record books, working lap number 3, but look at that car wiggle.
Boy, that almost got loose right there. Now, that was the difference between just another half a turn on the rear wheel. Would have probably spun him and hit the wall right there. Also, he's using all the car has. The car looks like it's sticking to the ground other than that one little wiggle.
A white flag, one more lap to go. Will Danny Sullivan go into the record book? Well, that little wiggle cost substantially at 215 miles an hour, 215.1. He is averaging 216.7 to this point. That does not break Rick Mears' 4-lap record, but perhaps this last lap will tell.
Remember what we said. When they qualify, they lay the wings down. They set everything to go as fast as they can. Obviously, they make the cars run as loose as they can and still go fast. Danny is on the brink of it.
Danny Sullivan, fast hands, fast eyes, and running very fast at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As he comes toward the checkered flag, will this put Danny Sullivan on the pole? He completes his 4-lap run. Some spectacular speeds, and his second lap broke the track record. Now, the final lap at 214.679 miles an hour. The 4-lap average, 216.214 miles an hour. Danny Sullivan, for the moment, moves on to the pole position, and that carries with it the possibility that Roger Penske will have his entire team across the front row.
Well, that's more possible now than it ever was. That's a pole in the middle, and all we have is Rick Mears on the outside yet to go. We're for the pole.
All right, let's go down to the pits. Jack Arute is with team manager Derek Walker.
And they say he is the mastermind of the juggernaut that seems to be taking the front row here. Derek, you spoke to Rick Mears, not Rick Mears, but actually Danny Sullivan as he crossed the line. What did you tell him?
I just told him the time and just told him to hang in there.
There he goes right by us now.
2 average.
You were talking to him right now, gave him the 216.2 average. What is accounting for this phenomenal run? Is it the chassis, Derek?
Well, it's a accumulation of things. Obviously, we've got Nigel Bennett, our designer, all the people in England, the team, everything is all just coming together. But it all starts with the pencil. You know, it's the designer, really. It starts it all going.
Well, here's a team that has battled back from adversity, not once, not twice, but many times, Paul.
Danny Sullivan, the new track record holder for a single lap at 217.7. We'll be back with more coverage of the Indianapolis 500 time trials after this commercial and a word from our local stations.
Quaker State, the big Q stands for quality. The engine in the new Quaker State Porsche Indy car develops 750 horsepower, so it takes an oil this good to protect it. At 11,000 RPM, engine temperatures soar to 800 degrees. Quaker State's advanced QSX formula is proven to run clean for unbeatable protection. And the Quaker State that protects this engine on the track is the same Quaker State you buy right off the shelf. Quaker State, the big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
When you replace ordinary spark plugs with Bosch Platinum plugs, you may not notice the change immediately. The quicker starts, the smoother acceleration, the extra performance only pure Platinum delivers. So how long will it take you to notice the improvement Bosch Platinum plugs make? About that long.
Bosch Platinum spark plugs, available at Kmart and other fine auto parts stores.
Tomorrow. Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cop, tomorrow.
I hate a guy who's always right. Like when I switched from my waterbed because I wanted a firmer mattress, my neighbor said, "Don't do it." He was right. It was like sleeping on a brick. So I went to Big Sur Waterbeds and found a Hibernation Series mattress that gave me the firm support and comfort I was looking for.
I told you so.
I hate a guy who's always right.
Big Sur Waterbeds, 4726 Monroe, just east of the Franklin Park Mall.
Dave Lennox. Since 1895, new ideas in heating and cooling.
And now get 90-day delayed payments and free vacation getaways with the purchase of selected Lennox products.
Call your independent Lennox dealer.
Hi, all of us at JBS Heating and Cooling know that you can never go wrong with quality. That's why so many people buy efficient Lennox products from a name that they can trust.
Give my friends at JBS a call today. You'll be glad you did.
Attaboy, Dave.
Watch The Dating Game weeknights at 7 on 24 Toledo.
We're back live at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The car on the track is number 8. It belongs to Teo Fabi. It is the eyes of Europe watching this car. The car is the Porsche effort. The chassis is a March, but the engine is Porsche. And Teo Fabi has completed 2 laps. One at 207.7 miles an hour, the second at 208.2 miles an hour. He's averaging 207.9 miles an hour. I'm Paul Page with Bobby Unser, Jack LaRue, and Brian Hammonds. We've had a battle for the pole here today. The first to hold the pole was Mario Andretti, and then it was taken away by Al Unser. And just moments ago, you saw it here live as Danny Sullivan broke the 1-lap record at Indianapolis at 217.7 miles an hour and averaged 216.2 miles an hour. Currently, Danny Sullivan sits on the pole, but this is the Porsche crew of Teo Fabi, Al Holbert, managing that team as it works its way around the track.
Well, we have to guess. He's running a little bit too slow, I think, to make the field at 207, 208. I don't think they can gamble on that. They're probably having a little bit of problem with maybe the heat in the engine today. Their straightaway speeds, for example, are only 215 miles an hour. That's a little bit less than the Cosworth cars are running at, for example, the Cosworth's at 219. So they may just give Teo the yellow flag also.
Now we're reporting out these speeds to you. It is at just 1 point on the straightaway. We assume it will be pretty close to the top speed, but Bobby and I, neither one of us think it's exactly the top speed. It's, in fact, maybe 10, 15 miles an hour off. But it's always in the same place, so it's valid for comparison. Teo Fabi completes the run. The last lap at 205.667 miles an hour. The third lap at 207.4. He really was all over the chart on the speeds, averaging 207.244 miles an hour. So at 207 miles an hour, Teo Fabi is in the Indianapolis 500-mile race field. And one of his predictions the other day has not come true. I asked him, what would be the slowest speed in the field? And he said, us. Well, he's not the slowest in the field. At the moment, that is Scott Atchison at 205.1. So Teo Fabi moves into the center of the 4th row. Let's go down to the pits. Jack?
Well, Paul, when you look over my shoulder here, you see the front stretch, and bordering it on the outside is a retaining barrier and what they call a catch fence. And on the inside is another retaining barrier. Not a lot that you have to be concerned about today with only 1 car out on the racetrack, but back in 1973, those walls and those fences got a workout.